Hello everyone and welcome to the 14th round of the Speedforce Racing PS4 Championship for the 14th round at the Singapore Grand Prix. For tonight I have a commentator alongside me, which is SFR Mansell, so I'm a very warm welcome to our commentary box for the GP4 round at the Singapore Grand Prix. Have you been familiar with the GP4 field?
Yep, glad to be here tonight. Of course, I was with GP4 mostly of last season, so it's good to be back with the GP4 guys. Yeah, we're here for Singapore. I think it's the longest race out of the whole calendar. I think it's about 31 laps or something. Around about an hour the race will be, depending on safety cars. So it'll be interesting to see how these GP4 guys get on today.
Yes, it will be really interesting today, and as you said, it's the longest race of the calendar. I think racing alone it could already be more than 50 minutes if the whole race is green, so yeah. It's going to be a really long set tonight.
Yep, I think it is 31 laps around here.
True.
And then yes, with green flag race and the whole way, it's about a 50-minute race. But of course, these barriers are really close. It's pretty much Monaco 2.0, so you won't really see as much overtaking as you probably would, obviously because it's a street track as well. So I think it will be mainly down to strategy as well today.
Yes, it will really be, and it seems like we have a dry qualifying on our hands. So then we will just look for the strategies they will do in the qualifying. Will they qualify on the soft? Will they qualify on the medium? What would you do if you were in this field?
Well, what I normally do now is I normally do the out lap on the softs and then do the quick lap and then do my really slow lap and then do another quick lap on the same set of tyres and then do my in lap. So I do 2 hot lap runs on the first set of tyres and then I go out for the second run, which is my final run, which I'll really go for it. So I don't really touch the medium tyres these days now. I used to when I used to be back on pad, but now I've moved to wheel. I don't really touch the mediums in qualifying anymore.
Interesting to know, as Unbeaten Sign is the first driver to go out on the track on a set of mediums. We usually see from drivers in league racing that they firstly set a lap on the harder set of tires and then go to the softer to set their ultimate qualifying lap on. But I don't think the softs are a driver's favorite tire around here, so we will see how long they will last. But as it looks like Unbeaten Sign is the only medium runner currently and the rest is on the softs, so we will see what times we will get on the board.
Yeah, it says I'm just at the time on the medium tyre as well, but he's currently in the pits at the moment. Yeah, I don't really know what the strategy is around here. I'm not sure if it's a soft medium around here or the hard medium, I'm not sure. I don't know if you know the train game.
Last year I haven't catched any of the Singapore Grand Prix, so I still think it's an old classic medium hard strategy. The medium, the best race tire, and the hard is pretty much a tire that's
I think it is very similar to the Bahrain strategy, where if you start on the softs, you got to do a soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium, mediums. If you start on the mediums, you're doing a medium hard strategy. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's very similar to the Bahrain strategy.
Yeah, I also think it really is, and the best thing you really want for this circuit is a one-stopper, because with a two-stopper you could be caught on in the traffic, which you really don't want, and overtaking is really difficult around here.
Yep, track position is important around here.
So this qualifying will be more than important. All qualifyings are important, but at some tracks it may be a little bit more. As we look at Unbeaten Sign's first run, as we have a yellow already in the first sector. I think it's one of the Alpines lifting.
I do believe that this qualifying session is the most important SFL qualifying session out of the whole season. It would have been Monaco, but we don't have Monaco this season, so I'm pretty sure this is the qualifying session where it's the most important. Because if you start in last, it's going to be very difficult to get yourself back up there in the top 5 at least.
Yeah, I also reckon Imola a track where you really need to qualify at the front to have a good race, especially when it's wet there. That's actually the same around here, so we will see how great the qualifying will be. We have our first retirement already. It's for SFR Gingy. I don't know if he got a qualifying ban or.
I think it's because he's a GP3 driver. So if there's a driver that's higher, they're not allowed to compete in qualifying, I do believe.
Alright, we have our first time on the board in a 37.9. But Eric Slim goes with a 36.2. So he is the man to beat at the moment.
Red Bull of Nutty up to second with 36.981. In between them, beat Simon and Eric Slim. Yeah, Sonic Court going in fourth with 48.17. Here comes Shadow Lancer in the Williams. He does a 48.13 as well. Seems like he was doing another outlap. I'm just in time, goes third. And the medium tyres as well with 37.5. Good luck there on the medium tyres.
I'm just in time. Is really a driver who was really fast in qualifying, but seems like he doesn't have the pace in the race.
Yeah, I remember him from last season. He did, yeah. You are right there. It does seem like he does perform better in qualifying than the race.
And there was also on the medium tyre his previous lap of 37.5, which is I think a pretty good time. You only got Mindful Wasp in the Alpine currently on the lap.
Yeah, he's at the third sector now.
All 90-degree corners in the last sector pretty much, and he dives into the pits. Unbeaten Sinas comes for another run. He did a cool down lap after his first fly and now goes for his second flyer. We usually see that from Unbeaten side, where he will do more laps on a tire he probably won't use in the race to start on. So let's see if what his second time on the mediums will be. As he is in the old Singapore sling right now and now going through the Anderson Bridge into the hairpin.
Sonic Hawk did the second lap as well. He went up to 7th with 38.6.
He significantly improved his lap time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think his first lap was a 41 something.
Yeah. Around the final corner, Unbeaten Sign goes, and let's see if he will indeed improve his lap time. It will be by 3:10. It's currently good enough for 5th on the grid, slightly faster than Rob Williams in the Haas.
Michael Wasp and Nori Glass is now on their outlaps.
And also for a teammate of Unbeaten Sign, it's Uriogras who goes out of sync and pretty much for a clean track. with nobody in front or behind him.
Charlotte 7 Energy Dan, they have decided to go onto the medium tyres at the moment, still in the pits. Same with Hunter K.
Eric Slims are also currently out on the outlap, as we have Swanee joining the lobby, so I think he will race with us tonight, and he's lucky enough that he is just in time to set a qualifying lap.
I think he did lag out. He is currently in P8, so I think he just lagged out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's alright.
Mario Glass will start his lap. We'll follow him, as he's the only one currently on the lap.
Yeah, Mindful Wasp has also just started his lap as well behind him.
That's true, and we will also follow his performance in the 8 minutes left in the qualifying. As Mario Glass goes purple through first sector. You could ask if how much that helps. As Uruglass is not really a driver who qualifies his car in pole position. It's normally around the top 10, as his rear was going the way out the Singapore Sling. .8 in the second sector. Around the final corner, Glass goes. And it will be P7 for now, a 38.2, and going to Mindful Wasp, who was a few seconds behind him, will set a time on the board P8, also a 38.3 for him, but just behind him on the 4th row currently.
I think it might be Energy Dan, or is it Slim? It's Slim. Will be next across the line. Will Slim go quicker? He will. 36.1 from Slim. I'm just in time retires. He's out.
Yeah,
he crashed out.
Yeah, he crashed out. Well, if he doesn't fall too much backwards on the grid, he could set up himself for kind of great strategy, as I think he spun out of turn 5.
Yeah. So Energy Dan, he goes up to P7 with 37.8 on the medium tyres. He'll be happy with that if he can get in the top 10 on the medium tyres.
I think he's doing the strategy you talked about earlier on in this qualifying.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the medium hard. Yeah, you definitely want to be doing a one-stop around here. Track position is important. You want to be doing as minimum pit stops as you can.
That's true. As we are now following SFR Paul, who have also had great moments, but also quite disappointing moments. For example, in Hungary, where he was the 3 seconds in the lead and spun off a easy curve. But Paul now goes to P8 with a 38.2 on the medium tires.
So pretty much everyone has now set a lap time. Gogs, I know what Gogs like, he never does qualifying.
Nope.
He did this at GP3. Yeah, he just never does it. Don't know why.
Yeah, he always likes to do last or first challenges, or wants every time to be a driver of the day by the game.
Yeah.
Well, he succeeded one time by winning the French Grand Prix, I believe, by doing it.
Okay, alright. Tell you what, it's not, at some circuits, it's not that bad starting from last position. Especially a track like Monza or something where it's easy to overtake. But a track like this, I think last place is kind of a grid position you want to avoid. You, well, just to hope to try and get a good finish here by beating in qualifying. I think Swanee is on a lap. Oh no, he's not. I thought he was. Maybe he's on a lap now.
I think Energy Dan wants to improve his lap time.
And he's actually up on his time. He's about 2 tenths up. So at the moment, it'll maybe put him up to the top 5.
Yeah, he could bring himself a row up, and that's maybe more important than 7th for 8. It will be the top 5.
Yeah.
37.5. Same reach of time as just in time, who has crashed out of this qualifying session. I think most drivers are now on the outlet, but we are now following Netty, who was 600 above his time at the first sector. So his teammate goes out of the way. Netty is lost 5 thousandths in the second sector, that's pretty much nothing.
He's got to somehow find about 7 tenths in his last sector. Get close to Slim, and Slim's actually on the medium tyres as well, so Slim's looking to try and improve his lap time on the medium tyres, so that would be a great job from Slim if he can do that.
Well, reaching 35 on meters will be really impressive by the GP4 driver.
Yeah, really good that would be.
Netty lost all the time in the last set, so he won't improve, and I'm afraid his qualifying is done by now.
Yeah, a minute 30 left to go.
Unbeaten.
Yeah.
He does the opposite strategy what Energy Dam did. He firstly set his laps on the medium and now has put on a set of reds on. So he wants to start as far at the front as he could be. And maybe hoping for an early safety car to stick to the plan he has in front of him. He's 8 tenths up on his time currently. But that could bring him up to the front row.
One is now retired.
In the pits.
In the pits.
And he then has had enough. Around the final corner, and beat the sign goes, and he goes to P2 with a 36.7.
I'm looking at Slim at the moment. His set to one time is pretty much exactly the same, but he kind of messes up on turn 8, I believe, and he has backed up from his lap. So that is it for him. He'll be starting on the soft tyres.
was improving all this time is Shadow Lancer, but I'm afraid he won't be in the top 10. No, he won't with a 39.8. Then we'll go to Glass, who is slightly improving. If he can... No, he will go into the pits, starting for P9. Then we will go to... Paul's on the integer, apparently.
What? He is as well, okay.
Interesting strategy there.
Okay, he's half second up on his time at the moment.
Yeah, on the soft, so even though he's the best medium qualifier currently, but he wants to go for track position. It's only one place up, so if it was really necessary or not, it was his plan. So, and it's good enough for third on the grid with Eric Slim on pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix, with our championship leader Die36 not here today, and Slim has a gap around a little bit more than 30 points. So if he could win, he can close the gap marginally for next week's Netherlands Grand Prix, where Die36 will be back. It's also quite a long time ago we have not seen Peldigaris on the starting grid, as he was for the first half of the GP4 season the man to beat. As Eric Slim takes pole position with a 36.1. Unbeaten Sign will start alongside him in P2. Hunter third, Netty fourth, and I'm just in time. And Energy then on the third row with a medium tyre. Rob Williams starts 7th, Paul 8 on the mediums, Glass 9th, Mindful was 10th, and outside the top 10 are Sonigo, Swanee, Shadow Lancer, and without the time Gingy and Gox.
Yeah, so 3 guys starting on the mediums in the top 10. Paul, Dan, and I'm just in time, so they'll be happy with that. Obviously with them starting on the top 10 on the medium tyres, we're very pleased with that.
I'll imagine they will, and the starts for Energy then have not been very kind to him, as he pretty much always at the end of lap 1 goes for reparation damage into the pit, so hopefully he will stay out of trouble this time.
Yeah, I heard what happened to him last week, where his wheel disconnected. He DNF'd from that race.
Yes, that's true, and Gingy had the same last week in Australia, where he was going straight on.
Okay.
Looks like we will have a dry race on our hands. I haven't received a weather report.
Thank God it's a dry race. Otherwise it's been about an hour and 20 of the race.
That will make the race kind of exciting, if you can call the race in Singapore exciting. It's obviously a test for the drivers, but not really a favorite for entertaining stuff.
Yeah, Dan's teammate is not here either, Tommy Gunner.
That's true, Tommy wasn't here today. I personally hope we won't have too much safety cars, as I personally want to this race done and not sit till 2 hours later. But we're going for the formation lap, and it's always interesting to see what those outside the top 10 are putting on. Interestingly,
Yeah.
we have 3 drivers on the hard tires, one on the soft and one on the medium.
I've just got the game's strategy thing as well. It said people who start on the soft tires, they will be doing a 2-stopper, a soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium, medium. People on the medium tires will be doing a medium hard strategy. So I was right.
You're really aware, so if it all stays green, it will be a 2-stopper for the top 4, and for those on the mediums or the hards can just do a 1-stop. But it's really important to know how long those softs can hold on. I personally think 5 or 6 laps and then they're done.
Yeah, it's gonna be they ain't gonna last long. I would say 8 laps is the max they'll do. 8 laps, I would say. But yeah, 8 laps is gonna be. I think tyre wear will be a real bad issue if you are able to stretch it that long. But if you are going to try and do a 1-stop, starting on the soft tyres, then you are going to have to try and stretch these soft tyres as long as you can. But yeah, if they do, then fair play to them. But it is going to be very difficult if they are able to do the 1-stop on the soft tyres.
I could remember from a few games ago that we had the ultra soft tire on Singapore and it only lasted 3 laps. So thankfully for the drivers, that tire is not with us these days, as the drivers will line up on the grid, and we'll see if there's going to be any carnage in turn 1, as it could be very narrow, especially if you're in the mid pack. And who's gonna have the best start from the back?
I'm gonna go on board with Gogs at the start, see what happens from his perspective.
His POVs are quite exciting if you're familiar with him. So I will hear you if he has any interesting stuff. But the lights are going on, and we are underway for the Formula 1 Singapore Grand Prix. It seems like with Axton has a really good start, and Unbeaten Sign is following him, and Hunter goes around the outside of Unbeaten Sign and makes it to Aston Martin 1-2. With Unbeaten Sign following him, Letty in 4, I'm just in time at 5th, and Energy then really close to the rear. I'm just in time in turn 5. That will make it vulnerable for Rob Williams, but Rob Williams is under threat from Paul for P7. And they crashed! Oh! Rob Williams is already out! And we were looking at the rear wing of Energy then, so it was a perfect view for us to look at that battle. So the stewards already going to be missing with that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so Swanee's lost his front wing. I thought, oh, has he? Has he? I thought he did. Yes, he has. From an earlier incident. We are now under a safety car. Same with Paul. He's also lost his front wing, so both Ferraris in trouble already. But it is a safety car, so they haven't really lost out that much, but they could change their strategy if they wanted to. But yeah, see what will happen with that. And that's the only 2 cars I can see with damage that has to pit at the moment. And yeah, I was on board with Boggs at the very start of that. Oh my god, he got the greatest start I ever seen. He passed 4 cars going into turn 1. So yeah, amazing start from Boggs.
He's already up into the points, so he had the start he really wanted. And that makes starting on the back quite exciting. As we have the Ferrari of Paul into the pits with also Mindful Wasp and Aerial Glass, I believe. As they were on the soft tire. So then we will only have Sonico in the top 4 and on the softs. With Euroglass, Mindful was, and Paul go to the medium, and Swanee will do the same. So we'll have half of the field on the mediums at the restart, which is I think going to be in the next lap. So a quite a hectic first sector, we could say.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, unfortunate there for Rob Williams. He's now out the Grand Prix. I'm sure he'll be back again next week if there is a seat available. I'm pretty sure he is a reserve.
That was probably the shortest race he has ever done in league racing. I have seen earlier DNFs than that, but all in all it's really unfortunate that it must be happened to you. Rob Williams is also entering our chat and says that's brutal by an Unreal, another race done due to stupidity. And if you look at our stream where we caught it from the rear of Energy, then it looked quite unnecessary from the both. But I will hand out the stewards to make a decision about that. As for now I'm just a commentator and then not a steward.
Yeah, so just waiting on Swanee to catch up. He's the last one. Saves car should be in the next lap.
I'm just in time is dropping. He has spun and lost an end plate.
Oh dear. Oh no, that's not what he wanted. Sonic hooks in as well.
So he.
I don't think Sonic's got damage though.
We will have a check. Was Mindful also already has a penalty? That's quite early to do.
Yeah, so Sonic Hawk just changed his strategy. He's going on to the hard tyres.
So he could go out very long as those hard tyres. You can't ruin them. I always think at Singapore, even though they're not the fastest tyre, but they last very long around here.
Yeah. They could probably I think they can last the whole race, but your tyre wear at the end on a hard tyre is, that's going to be painful.
Yeah, really indeed.
Yeah, you're not going to enjoy that at all.
No, the mediums are really the favorite tyre to be on, but
yeah,
he maybe wants to save the mediums for the end, if there's going to be a safety car at the end maybe. With 10 laps to go, then a medium is pretty much perfect. And I'm just in time has also stayed on the mediums. And he will start from the back. Or rejoin.
The global chat on Discord. I didn't know this, apparently crossplay is coming into the F1 game next year. Well, this year's F1 game. That's interesting, so Xbox, PC, PlayStation all together. Interesting.
Yeah, but I think I heard it could be later in the game and not from the
it won't be from the very start. It'll be post launch.
As the Aston Martin leaves the Aston Martin Formula 1 car to join the pits, and Eric Slim can choose his moment when he wants to go. I think that won't be too much of a strategy, as he has his teammate behind him on the same strategy.
So safety car should be in this lap?
Yeah, it's going in.
Oh wait, it's okay. I missed that message.
When does Slim go? He's waiting. And now he goes. Wasn't really the best exit you would expect. What happened to Natty?
Natty's just lost it. Cold tyres and gone round.
And he was still on the soft, so maybe a cold rears and then you're pretty much gone.
Old tyres just come round, that's what's happened really.
So he'll be over for another safety car at some stage.
Yeah.
Now Aerial Glass wants to make a move. We go all 3 wide going into turn 6 and there was contact made. With Aerial Glass, mindful was, I think it was, Shadowlander who's got up 6th place. Wow. As we have Swanee and...
No from me either.
Swanee moves up to P9 by overtaking Mindful Wasp at the outside of 7, going into the inside of turn 8. Though we'll put him up to 9th, as we will see a train behind Shadowlancer. Well, maybe could have a look for the steward, as he was going last minute 3 wide and caused a pretty heavy accident. As Swanee now goes up to 8th place behind his teammate. We have a yellow, that's Aerial Glass. I think just has damage from that incident. As Slim already has a 2-second gap to his teammates, so no Mindful was has spawned.
Mindful was been around here. Don't think he's got damage though. He's got away with that.
Luckily he hasn't got damage, otherwise you have to do a full lap with damage, and I don't think you really want that.
Oh. Paul's right behind Shadowlancer for P6. Shadowlancer on the hard tyres, Paul on the medium tyres. Paul might have a little look.
We'll touch the rear.
But
he goes! Whoa! Whoa!
Nearly lost. Great save there from Paul. He does lose position to his teammate with Swanee, but he can keep Janeji and I'm looking time behind him for now.
And we'll go into the battle for P3 as Energy then has closed up to a medium sign, and that could be a sign that the mediums are now the best tire to be on.
Yeah. Soft tyres are probably already struggling already. 5 laps in. You can see the shine off unbeaten side tyres are now gone off. Yeah, so it's kind of when, you know, when your soft tyres are starting, well, your tyres are starting to go off, is when that shine goes.
You could just see the understeer from Energy Dan's point of view. It just doesn't touch any apex. That much understeer he has.
Yeah.
As Martin stays out, and same for Unbeaten Sign.
The RS is now enabled, so this might give Energy Dan to have a chance to overtake him. He's got a Gogs right behind him as well. Janeji is losing positions. That's because he's coming into the pits. Hard tyres as well. I think he might have got damage from somewhere.
Unbeaten Sign had quite a good exit there, but I don't think it will be enough. Energy Dan goes
beautifully. 3 wide. Gogs is going to have a look at the 3 wide.
Oh my! Oh, coming
He's going
off
to get
the track.
position. Dan's going to come on top of that. Gogs is going to come forth, and then Unbeaten Side is going to lose 2 positions. Unbeaten Side kind of got squeezed there. He didn't really break either, otherwise he probably would have taken both of them out. So Unbeaten Side couldn't really do much there, but just to stay where he was. Yeah, so Unbeaten Side loses 2 positions on 1 corner really. Probably a definite sign of the soft tyres dropping already.
I didn't expect Cox to be on that outside, as that could have been very much wrong, like we've seen on the previous lap. But luckily for him, he's still in the race and fighting already for 3rd after starting 15th.
Yeah, great start. Great start from Cox already. Got an amazing start when the lights went out. Gained 4 positions and just took advantage of other people's mistakes, and now he's up to P4 with it because of that.
As Hunter is the first driver to go into the pits, Interestingly, it's not Eric Slim having the call as the first driver, but Hunter is going into pits, as Eric Slim has had already a 4-second lead on him, and Hunter goes to the mediums.
8.3 is the gap between Dan and Slim. Slim absolutely dominating here today. Obviously, probably has to make a 2-stopper. So, see where he will finish. And the race comes to an end.
Well, with the pace Slim is showing, I think he could make the 2-stop work.
Yeah, definitely. But it depends if he can get through all that traffic as well.
That's true.
As God's really trying to get past Energy Dan, but Dan's not having any of it. Dan is pretty much... I know Dan is a hard guy to get past. So God's just going to have to try and be patient with him. And just try and get the move done when it comes to it.
And we have seen from Gox earlier this season, if there isn't a gap he can find, he will create one, and if you're happy with that or not, he just going to try it. Some just in time is back in the points, currently in P7 after passing Shadow Lancer on this lap.
Slim staying out again. At the moment, if he does pit, I've worked it out, it would probably be around about where Sonic and Shadowlancer is at the moment, P8, P9, so I think he will be in traffic if he does come in.
Also being inside goes into the pits after 6 laps on the softs. And to the medium and beat inside goes. As we have also now both Ferraris for P4, quite closely matched, with Swanee in front of Paul. After Paul was in front, after that spun.
Ferraris are going for it. Paul's going to go down the inside of Swanee. He will get the move done. Good move there from Paul. Looks up P4. Ferraris P4 and P5. Good recovery so far from then after both of them moving their front wing on the first lap. The incident with Rob Williams. That meant they made a good recovery.
Whoa! Paul is out! Paul is out!
As I say that, Paul.
Safety car! Yeah,
what
that's
looks like it's gone straight into the wall.
Well, he was turning in, but the wall is really sticking out almost on the track, and he touched it with his front left. So I called it on stream if you want to watch. But we have a safety car currently on the track, and that's pretty much a free pistol for Eric Slim, and he might stay in the top 3 with this.
I don't know what happened to Paul.
Slim will go to the medium tire.
Oh no, Paul! Oh dear. I've seen what he's done now. He's just hit that inside wall, hasn't he? It's turned in too early, really.
Yeah. As also Energy Den and Gox are pitting. Interesting enough, Energy Den goes for another set of mediums, and Gox goes for the harder tire.
Yeah, so he's Dan has changed into a 2-stopper. Looks like it's going onto the soft tyres at the end.
It really looks like it, indeed. We have only Swanee and Sonic haven't made the pit stop, I think. Well, they have made, but stayed out on this safety car. As we now have multiple drivers on the hards.
Yeah, no one on the soft tyres now.
No. It's almost suicide if you put them now on.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 penalties in a race so far. That's for Natty and Mindful Wasp, both in 3 seconds. Yeah, track limits. Yeah, it's not that difficult around here for track limits. You can normally keep hitting the track most of the time. The only really bit where you can kind of get track limits is probably in that double, triple chicane bits where the safety car's going up to now. I think this is probably the only part of the track really where you can go wide and maybe get a penalty even though the walls are very close to the track. But you can sometimes turn in too early, get the penalty, get the warning. And of course, this final corner as well, go wide where Disenergy Dan is going right now. A bit too wide, and get yourself one in there as well. But apart from that, yeah, track limits is not really that big of an issue, to be fair.
Normally not really, but there are always drivers that have the talent to get a time penalty just because of track limits. And track limits at the street circuits, it's always interesting to get.
Yeah.
I think we will be racing after this lap as Shadowlands has now entered the 10th lap and is at turn 3 currently. So just waiting for him and then we will go, I presume.
Swanee, Sonic, Natty, Origlass and Janeji and Hunter K, the only ones who hasn't stopped during the safety car period. Mindful Wasp is losing places. He is goated, so I think he spun somewhere. Doesn't look like he's got any damage though. But now he's moved down to P12.
So that's the second spun in 10 laps, so not really promising for him. The safety car is going in by confirmation. After a Ferrari caused the safety car, we will have a Ferrari who will restart the race. With Swanee into the lead after the retirement of SFR Paul. And
so
how?
This is the first time Slim is in some traffic as well, so let's see how he can cope in this kind of traffic. Maybe he can get past them straight away after restart, or he'll be stuck behind him, can't really do much about it. But we'll see what Slim really kind of does. Get difference in where I think Swanee has actually gone. Oh no, I thought he went there.
And we are going racing again at Singapore. Swanee was struggling with the traction going out of the last corner. Oh, Sonic was really close to the rear. Oh, whoa, he's out and almost takes Slim with him.
Yeah, Slim avoided it, but then Slim came back on the track and he's hit somebody else, and now Slim's got damage from rejoining the track. But now Slim's fallen all the way down, he's nearly down to P10, and he's going to have to pit as well, got something damage.
That wrong place, wrong time for Arab Slim, but the race is still really long, so he could make up his way back to the front, but knowing that his championship rivals aren't here today, it will feel as a loss if he can't win here today.
Yeah, like you said, still a long way to go in this race. Still not even halfway yet, so
no.
Yeah, still got a long way to go yet until the race finishes.
as you could see, the mediums have their the drivers who are on the mediums have their own pace, and the drivers on the hard have also their own pace. So there's a 2-second gap between Gox and Gingy. As we'll take a look at the front, as Eric Slim is going into the pits, so probably put on the hard tires on.
Yeah, I'd say so. Hard tires to the end.
Oh, just in time is out.
Seems like he's done exactly the
Safety
same.
car.
Safety car. Okay, that saved Slim big time there.
I'm afraid we're going to have a long night here at Singapore, as it's the third safety car in 12 laps, so we haven't really got any racing. I think we only did 3-4 laps about that.
So now down to 11 runners, but this has helped Slim. This is what Slim wanted.
So then he can do the job Cox is normally doing, like a last or first challenge.
Yeah.
Now he passes the safety car. After 10 laps ago he was driving behind it, because he was the leader back then. And like we said in qualifying for him, just in time, great qualifier, but doesn't seem like he can bring the results in the races, and this week it shows it again.
Yeah, just unfortunate there for him just in time. He looks like he's done exactly the same as what Sonic Hawk did. Just lost the back end, tried to correct it, and then, yeah, couldn't correct it, and then it's gone into the wall.
Do we might see Swanee going into the pits on his 9-lap old mediums? Yes, you will.
No, he's
No!
not.
He was firstly opting to go into the entry, but he stays out on the 10-lap old as unbeaten silent Gox. Oh, Gox is going into the pits.
Yeah, it looks like he's changing strategy. I think he might be going on to the medium tyres. By the
Good.
looks of things, Shadowlancer's coming in as well, so Shadowlancer's probably doing the opposite to Gox and coming into the hard tyres. Yeah, so Gox in for the mediums, and I believe, yeah, Shadowlancer in for the hard tyres.
So then we might see Eric Slim going up into the top 10, and Shadowlancer for now outside the top 10. Yes, we will see. So Slim up to 10th on the hard tires. So we will follow his probably comeback to the top spots. As I really don't count him out for the win currently.
Yeah, I don't think you should count on anyone for the win at the moment. At the moment, anyone can win this Grand Prix.
Yes, it really could be. I think the safety car could come in, as the whole pack is now behind the safety car. But I think it will stay out for another lap.
Yeah, it does seem like that. Yes, it will.
Yes, so we'll have to wait 2.5 minutes around that to restart the race for the third or fourth time. I lost count already with all the safety cars. So we could take a look at those who have gained positions. And Swanee with the most with 11, then Gingy has 10, and Cox had 6, even though he was in 4th place earlier on in the race. And the biggest loser is Eric Slim, of course, started from pole, now in 10th place. And looking at the pit stops, that could also be an interesting fact, that Shadow Lancer has already done 3 stops in 14 laps.
So that's really changing positions, well, strategy, not position, sorry. As he is actually back onto his older hard tyres.
Yes.
Say that he's on 8 lap old hard tyres.
I think that should really be a problem.
But yeah, you should get to the end. Shadow Lancer, I would say at least 4 laps under safety car conditions on those set of hard tyres. The safety car is now coming in this lap.
So for the second time, Swanee can control the field. And last time he was really struggling with the traction going out of the slow corners. So let's see how this reset is going to be. And hopefully a clean one. It looks like he wants to go now.
And Dan's got a really good restart on Hunter K. He might have a look at Hunter K going down to turn 1. Has a look on the inside, but he has to back out a bit as Hunter K just closed the door on him.
Shadow Lancer is overtaking Slim.
No!
Oh, Hunter is out! Oh my god!
Oh man, no, that's so unlucky there. Dan lost the back end, he corrected it, but then when he corrected it, he spins Hunter K. Oh, that's so unfortunate there for Hunter K. Not really anyone's fault. Dan, yeah, he corrected the car. When correcting it, he hits the rear tyre of Hunter K, and Hunter K goes into a spin.
Oh, Mindful Wasp and Cox make contact, but spending Mindful Wasp for the 3rd time this evening out. After they had really great battling side by side through 3 corners. That's really impressive to do around here. But he is up his way to 7th on the mediums, and he will now just have a traction advantage on those mediums, and goes race leader Glass lets him go, so he's up to 6th place.
Energy is all on the back of Swanee's gearbox.
Yes, he really is, and like I said, Swanee seems to be struggling with the traction, so he doesn't have any exit speed at all. Just look at the exit Genie had, and he will go into the lead, I think. Still side by side they're going, but this
Still side by side. Oh, and Swanee goes back at him. He has better traction, and Swanee keeps the leaping out. Chineji might have going to get the slipstream, the ERS. The ERS is not enabled yet. Behind him, and beating Sign and Dan are going side by side as well. Chineji's going to have try and go around the outside of Swanee. Swanee closes the door on him. Side by side, Unbeaten Sign's got the move done on Energy Dan. But yeah, good defending there from Swanee to keep the lead.
And interesting enough, Unbeaten Sign has overtaken Energy, and even though he's on the harder set of tires. But this is a lovely shot. The top 5 in one shot from the helicopter view we have. As a beaten scientist, a very interesting line at hairpin.
Yeah, you lost the back end a bit going into the hairpin. So it goes
That's
a bit
true.
wide.
And beaten sign might be the actual race leader if you just look at strategy.
Yes, possibly. It depends if the medium tyres decide to come in or not. I'm expecting they are. I don't think medium tyres can last this long, especially with Janeji and Swanee. I don't think they can go to the end now.
Don't think they will do more than 25 laps on them.
Janeji gets a lot better traction than Swanee on the final corner. And now he gets moved on Swanee. Janeji finally takes the lead. Swanee now quite well. Now Swanee defending from and being signed.
And just look at the gap, Gingy is already pulling away from Swanee. Oh, Beaten Sign wants that inside for the next turn, but doesn't get it. Was energy there? No, Cox are putting it on the inside of Netty. As a Beaten Sign us up to P2.
Yeah. That's Swanee struggling big time now. Gogs is going to get a better exit than Energy Dan. So side by side.
Tackles well. Oh. Side by side. Oh. It's with contact but without heavy impact.
Here comes Gogs again on Dan on the inside.
Oh, did you
the brakes for Dan. Jeez, I was close between the two.
That's incredibly late for Energy Dan to brake on them.
Yeah. He did lock up as well.
They're both on the medium, so that isn't really the case Gox had previously, where he was battling drives on the hards, where it's known that exits are a little bit more difficult than mediums. A beaten sign though. Yeah, so he might get damage from the battle, yeah.
Yeah, it might be 3 wide.
Holy.
20. Oh, okay. Nearly 3 wide.
How has this not ended up in a crash with just so close between all those drives?
Yeah. Gogs really wants to get past these two.
I think that was a really close call for Energy Dan. But he now has a massive run of Swanee.
There we go. Is he going to get the move now this time?
He's pushing him off.
Yeah.
So,
he finally gets the move done on Swanee. Swanee's on suspension position. He's now down to P6.
hold on, RXM is up to 4th.
Yeah, he is. Great recovery there.
Oh man.
Wasp sends again. And he's lost at front wing this time.
Virgil. So the in-game stewards calls for a timeout for currently. So we'll go back shortly into racing as GG already has an 8-second gap to Energy there.
Yeah. I don't think he can go to the end. If he does, Janeji's tyres will be... Trying to work it out. 2, 3, 4, about 25 laps sold at the end, so I don't think they can last that long.
We'll go back racing and looks like Energy then had a better reaction time than Gingy as he closed in by 2 seconds. But has the hungry Gox behind him. Energy then defending the inside. And Slim is just watching those two ahead of him battle. Oh, Cox wants to have the switchback, but doesn't really perfectly get it. But all in all, he goes up to 2nd place. And now Slim wants to pass Energy really quickly, otherwise Gox might create a gap to him. balls in the wall, Slim goes, after taking too much curb or on the entry of 9. Oh, that's the rear. No front wing damage. And she then still has DRS. It can only help him out for this trade, I'm afraid.
For Wasp, 3 seconds. They're going bad to worse for Martha Wasp. And his 4th spin now. He's currently in 11th and last place. 12 seconds behind Swanee.
Where will Slim overtake Energy then? Will it already be on this straight? I think he will. It goes for the outside. But already made the move done before the braking area. So he is up to 3rd.
I think Natty might come back from at Dan now as well.
I think Dan will get to the stage where the mediums won't have much space left in them. Ooh, Natty had a really good exit going out turn 7. Center is really close to the rear of Shadow Lancer back at B7.
Yeah.
When will Natty make the move for 4th place? That's Eric Slim.
The next DRS zone. Dan is now out the DRS of Slim. So it'll give Natty the opportunity to get the move done.
He has a run. Has to go for the outside. Can't brake late, but we know Energy then brakes ultimately late, and great defensive move from Energy then with 10 laps left in this race. And Slim is really closing in to the Gox.
Yeah, Gogs is closing into Janoji as well. The gap was about 7 seconds between Gogs and Janoji, and they've gone down to about 6 seconds now. So Janoji is starting to struggle now on the medium tyres. Slim is now under a second of Gogs. Slim can finally open his DRS.
Oh, Natty goes to the outside. Oh, that doesn't go well. And luckily, without Calder, does Energy then got a track limit at a place where you could get one, but in my opinion, it is really one after the second DRS straight. Oh, Gingy goes into the pits, so that will hand over the lead to Cox, so we'll have a battle for the lead.
As Dan now decides to pull into the pits as well. Dan, who might go onto the soft tyres? Janoji's gone onto the soft tyres. Yeah, so there's be a bit of entertainment here, but Janoji and Dan. Dan's actually got a front wing change as well.
Oi!
So that's put Dan down to P9 and Janoji down to P7. And quite far away from the front runners as well. Hunter K having a look at Shadowlance. So Shadowlance is going to go defensive, of course. So we're going to have, of course, Hunter K is going around the outside. Hunter K gets them doing it around the outside with Hunter K up to P5. But again, I think Hunter doesn't, again, still need to pit. Shadowlance doesn't have to, we didn't want to. I think they leave the tyres and go to the end.
Won't be much live indoors outs at the end of the race, but I'm quite sure they will get to the end.
Yeah.
And at the front we are looking at two drivers who were at some point of the race last place, with Cox starting last and Slim after the second safety car being dead last, and now both fighting for the victory. So it just shows how quickly things can change in league racing, and with no penalties currently, this is a equal fight for the victory. Oh, we have a yellow, that's Mindful Wasp.
That's Mindful Wasp again, yeah.
This time he didn't spawn.
He might have lost the front wing as well.
Oh.
Yeah, he has lost the front wing as well. So that's his fifth spin, and his second time losing his front wing as well.
Our center are now closing in on area glass and goes up to fourth. How much longer will he go on those mediums, do you think?
Maybe to the end now. Looking at his pace at the moment, doesn't really seem like he's not really losing any much time. To be honest, it looks like he's gaining more time to the guys on the hard tyres at the moment. So yeah, maybe to the end on these tyres for Hunter.
It's kind of fortunate that we as spectators can't see the tyre wear of
yeah, I know, yeah.
Of all the drivers. Then I will be really interested to know how much wear the mediums of Hunter currently have. As still a long way left for him in this race, but if he can get it to the end without a puncture, then hats off to him. We will go back to the front where Slim is in 3/10 of Cox, and so we might see a change as he was maximizing the track fully, as Gingy sets a 38.9 for the fastest lap of the race, and looks like Cox will hold on for this lap. And just look at the action from Gingy for the battle for P6, both having DRS.
That's a lot off a bit, trying to avoid going into the back of the glass. He did a good job with that.
He really does. But it's just a matter of time that Gingy will pass both of them.
Oh dear, Slim gets 3 seconds penalty.
That might be a big game changer for him. He was already track extending at the beginning of the lap at the exit of turn 3, where you could also get a track limit if you're not careful about that one.
Son also gets a 3 second penalty. Here comes the penalties then.
It's raining penalties for now, and now Slim really has to pass Gox to create the gap. As how longer Gox has to run on the mediums, then how more difficult it will be for him. As Gingy now has gone up to 6th place and will be facing Uruglass. on district, so it could be 2 moves in 1 sector.
I think he should get moved in on Oriolas. It'd be easier because Oriolas does not have the RS. Shadowlancer did. Side by side. 2 energy on the outside, and he will get the move done. As Mindful Wasp unfortunately spins again, and he's about to get lapped. There you are.
Thankfully he's ghosted.
Yep, Mindful Wasp has now been lapped with that 6th spin of the day for Mindful Wasp.
Will he reach the 10?
Yeah.
Oh, Eric Slim! Oh, slightly touch. And
better exit than
whoa! He outbroke himself.
Okay. Yeah. Good job there from my Slim avoiding Gogs, taking avoided action and obviously gives the decision back to Gogs. So nice respect there from Slim, and now Slim gets another penalty.
That might be a little bit unfair with the maneuver he just did by avoiding Gogs. But if he wants that penalty to be removed, then he has to stay within the limits now and don't get any.
That's Hunter K coming in. Hunter K is in. He thinks that he can't get to the end on these medium tyres.
Would already be a big question, if you ask me. But now it's the time for Slim to make the move, and he goes to the inside of Gox and will take over the lead and makes the move stick, so he now has to make a 6-second gap to take victory at the Singapore Grand Prix.
Yep, he did it at the very start of this Grand Prix, so he might be able to do it again. You know, he can create a big gap. He did that at the very good end of the race, something we thought.
Yes, and the mediums will also get longer for Gox, so and my all comes into his advantage.
Gets the move done on Swanee, so that means down up to P8. He was stuck behind Swanee for about 2 laps. But now he finally gets the move done, and he's got to somehow make a 13-second gap behind Shadowlancer. Might be possible because he is on the soft tyres, whereas Shadowlancer's on 20 lap old hard tyres, so it could be possible for Dan. We'll down to 12.7, so we'll see if Dan can catch Shadowlancer before the end of the race. That's Gogs, and Slim is now over a second. As Mindful Wasp is trying to unlap himself.
And now he's doing it successfully.
Yeah, so he's got to pass Gogs. If he can get past Slim, then he's definitely back on target for a points finish if there is another safety car. But yeah, it's going to be difficult for him to catch up to the safety car if it does come out and he gets a penalty as well. So only Gogs, Janeji, Origlass and Hunter K all without a penalty, everyone else with a penalty.
Where we halfway through the race said that it's quite difficult to get a penalty around here. The GP4 drivers have the talent to get the penalty around here.
Yeah. Now 2 seconds between Gogs and Slim, so that 6-second gap could very be on for Slim.
Slim really hopes that there is not going to be a safety car by now. Otherwise, that will have big problems for him.
Yeah. Even Dan is putting that gap right down now. It's 8.7. It's only about a lap since. But he's got about a 4-second gap. I think he's made on Shadowlancer in a lap. So at this rate, we'll be catching him in about 2 laps time.
Yeah, so it could be a last lap showdown between Shadowlands and Energy then. As Gingy could get to the podium on track, that's always better than getting it by penalties.
Yeah, right behind Natty.
I think Nettie will get the podium as GG is a reserve today.
Yeah.
And that's the fastest lap, 38.4. That will be an extra point for the Aston Martin team. As Slim is done his job at more than 50%, he's 3.7 gap and he has to get 6 seconds. That's 120 are changing positions.
Yeah, I think Slim might get it. 4 seconds, so I think he could get it.
I'm quite confident he will get it, as it's also a very long track where you can gain or lose quite a lot of time, so it's all going to his advantage. We have
yellow flag, let's to Marvel's what is 7th spin now.
Whoa! Gingy goes for the inside of turn 3. Doesn't really get it, but then he let Nettie know that he is really there, and I'm sure he will get the move done by now.
Oh, really?
Oh, Mindful Wasp is out, and will they bring out a safety car?
No, I think it's too late now.
Well, he sometimes doesn't know where it is going, but it looks like there won't be any.
Yeah, so everyone who finishes the race will be scoring some points today.
Oh, did you have a massive moment?
Yeah. Big moment now for Gennady.
As Hunter is overtaking Energy then.
Yeah, it looks like Dan's soft tyres are pretty much dead now. As you can see, they don't really last that long.
And Slim has done his job. He has done a 6-second gap to Cox, so
yeah,
he only has himself as an opponent. As Gingy now gets a 3 second. And now they're both in 3 seconds.
Has Gennady actually come into the pits as well?
Maybe to retire for a reserve? Yes.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah.
We gave him a run for his money, but Nettie will get to the podium if he doesn't blow it. So I'm afraid we won't have any battles anymore in this Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think the closest one at the moment is between Glass and Shadow Lancer by the looks of it at the moment. That is about 1.2 between the two.
And Glass can go into the battle quite relaxedly, as he doesn't have a penalty and Shadow Lancer has.
Hunter K's just got into that DRS of Shadow Lancer now as well. So it could be a last lap overtake here for Hunter K.
And if Hunter gets it really fastly done, he may catch up to Glass.
Oh yeah, if he can get this move done on Shadow Lancer this lap, then he has a very good chance to get an Glass next lap.
He will have DRS here, so...
Yeah, and he might actually get it from how close he is.
Yeah, he will get it.
I don't think Shadow Lancer will give it up that easily. Oh, really? It looks like he will. So Hunter K, if you can get under a second before that long DRS straight, longest DRS straight on here, then he will have a good chance to hit a P5 away from Less.
As we have entered the last lap with Eric Slim into the lead. almost building to a 10-second lead to Gox. 5 laps ago he was behind Gox, so that really shows that he is the fastest on this racetrack. And Hunter, it looks like, wants to get that P5. And I think he also pitted when he was in the 5th position. Oh, Euroglass doesn't have any traction on his hards.
Goes a bit wide as well. Won't be great with his exit then. 100k. Yeah, see the overtake for 100k. 100k. P5 for him today. By the looks of it. What is the penalty situation between unbeaten sign and 100k? It is 3 seconds. So I don't think 100k can get under 3 seconds in 1 lap. So I think that will be the maximum for him for today for 100k. 10 seconds is now a gap between Alex Slim and Gogs. Slim is about to. He's now set to 3 now actually.
We are looking at our race winner for today, and he will close the gap to the championship. Alex Slim is going to win the Singapore Grand Prix after being last around 20 laps ago, but he will win the Singapore Grand Prix, and he will be followed by Gox, who started from last place to finish in 2nd place. He couldn't get the win, but great job from Gox finishing in 2nd. Matty will go to the podium. I think it is his first one in GP4 for this season. Unbeaten Sign will go to 4th place in this race, and Hunter with a great charge at the end will finish in 5th place. 2.5 seconds later is Euroglass, Shadowlands will finish 7th, Energy then finish 8th, and then we'll be waiting on Swanee, who had the control of 2 safety car restarts and will finish in P9, and our driver of the day by the game will be Gox, but if you ask me, I will give it to Eric Slim. How about you?
Yep, I agree with that. He obviously started pole and then pitted, got into a bit of drama in the midfield, lost a bit of his front wing, so he had to pit again, and then he got saved again by a couple of safety car restarts, which then gave him the win here today. So yeah, I 100% agree with the driver of the day of Eric Slim.
And with this victory from Eric Slim, that will mean he will close the gap to 14 points going into Zandvoort next week. So then it looks like it will be showdown between Dive86 and Slim for the GP4 championship, but we will go one final time through the results. Slim, Gox and Netty is your podium. Unbeaten Sign finishes 4th, Hunter with the fastest lap finishes in 5th, Euroglass 6th, Shadowlands 7th, Energy 8th, Swanee 9th, and Gingy, our reserve, has been classified, so we will finish in 10th. Mindful Wasp, after 700 spins this race, finishes 11th. I'm just in time 12th, Sonic Al 13, Paul 14, and Rob Williams, who was already out after 6 corners. So this was the Singapore Grand Prix, and we'll also have a chat with the top 3.
Yep, I'll get them in now for you.
As Menzel is inviting the top 3, I would like to invite you for the Singapore Grand Prix tomorrow for GP3 and for Wednesday the GP2. And I think the GP1 is racing at Brazil on Thursday, where the championship already has been decided, if I'm correct.
Yeah, been invited.
The top 3 has been invited, as Mansell said, and was it great to be back in the GP4 combox?
Yeah, it was very nice to be in the GP4 combox once again. For this, I say one-off-ish kind of special. I might be back later on this season, I don't know. But yeah, very nice to be back in GP4 and see these GP4 guys once again. Hopefully I will see them again at some point Yeah, hopefully before the end of the season, we'll see.
It was great to have you here tonight, as we will now go to the showroom and I'm looking for the Aston Martin from Ericsson was joined the party. So we're already going to start off with you, Alex. It's been a long night and quite a roller coaster on this street circuit. And could you just tell us how your race went?
How my race went, holy crap. Well, there were upsides and there were downsides. I felt really comfortable and my competitive with my pace, but yeah, street circuit, so anything can happen. And yeah, got some damage, unfortunately. Nothing really I could have done there, and yeah. The traffic is pretty bad also. There was like, I think like people were going 3 wide ahead of me and just like stopping on the apex, so yeah, that was rough, but yeah, happy to get the win still, with the even penalties at the end.
Were you really worried when you got the second penalty?
Yeah, I was really like, I was just really like triggered at the point I almost like ran into Gox, and then I had to like avoid him and just cut the corner, and then I got like the next corner, I think. I got the penalty for it, so yeah, I was really triggered.
Yes, and by this win you will close up to the championship with Diver DJX not being here tonight. You'll close up the gap to 14 points going into the Netherlands next week. Are you confident there?
No. I haven't practiced it at all, ever. I don't think I've ever done a race there either. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Then it sounds like kind of a damage limitation for you next week, but we will thank you for the entertainment you gave us tonight, and we'll see you next week if you will be there.
Yeah, see ya.
Then we'll have our third place finisher. I have forgotten his name.
It's Nuffy.
Nuffy, thank you, Mansell. I think Nuffy has joined the party, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
So I think it's your first not pole position, podium in GP4, so I think you must be very pleased with that result.
Yeah, it's on my second race here. Last week at Australia, I was in the Ferrari and I think it was my teammate actually spun in front of me, and then unfortunately I got picked up and ended up crashing. And then today, Singapore is just it's a hard track, you know, it's really tight, and it's not really a lot of overtaking spots. And then I was doing well, I had good quality, and then, I don't know, after that first safety car, on the restart I ended up spinning out because I think my tires were just too cold, and I just kind of got on the throttle too early and just spun. So I didn't think there was any way of getting back into the race, and then I just put on the hards and said I'm going to go to the end of these and hope that maybe there's a safety car, which I think there was another 1 or 2 safety cars, and yeah, the hards took me to the end. Almost got caught near the end with the Ferrari driver, I can't remember his name, but he was on softs and was closing the gap pretty quickly.
Yes, that was Gigi, who was a reserve, so even though if you would have overtaken, you will still have gotten the podium. So congratulations with that one. And next week is Sandford, and are you confident with the Dutch track?
Well, it depends on if I get the race or not, but yeah, I like Netherlands. It's usually one of my stronger ones. So hopefully I can, because I really like that track. I know a lot of people kind of don't like it because it's kind of a narrow track. and the curbs can kind of be a little bit brutal with if you hit them, you know, you'll spin out. But so yeah, hopefully I can race next week.
So really thank you for your entertainment tonight, and we will see you next week if you will be there, of course.
Yep, hopefully.
So that was our broadcast for the GP4 tonight at the 14th round in Singapore. We will be back for GP4 next week for the 15th round of the championship in the Netherlands, and we will tomorrow be back with the GP3 around the same Untitled Singapore Marina Bay Street Circuit. And I will say for tonight, have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.